Let's have a heart-to-heart with you guys and tell you what's really happening in the market. I want to address the buyers, the sellers, and just give you my opinion of what I'm actually seeing in the market as I live and breathe this every single day. I'm Mutha Jaffrey. I've been selling real estate in the GTA for more than 20 years, and my goal is really just to make the buying and selling process simple. So I want to start with the buyers. I know that there is a lot of inventory for you to choose from, and buyers are taking their sweet time making their decisions, and they have every right to do so. But what I'm finding is that a lot of buyers are getting buyer fatigue. They're tiring out with this market because once they feel like they've seen all the options that are available to them, 10 or 20 new options are coming up every single day. They can never catch up to the available inventory in the market because it just keeps piling on. So what I really think the buyers have to do in this market is make a decision. Do you want to buy now? And maybe, the neighbors that sell the same house you've bought in the future might sell for a little bit lower. And do they want to swallow that they've lost already maybe 1 or 2% on the value of the home as soon as they buy it? Or do they want to wait until the bottom? Now, the thing with that is you don't really know when the bottom of the market is, and next thing you know, you wake up and prices are going up. So one advice I'd give buyers that are entering the market is make the decision. Do you want to buy in this market, or do you want to wait and see where the market is going? It's totally up to you. I'm not here to sway your decision in any way, but you really should know, are you buying or are you not? Because the more and more places you see, I can promise you, you're going to start to get confused and you will end up probably not buying anything and waiting. So once you made the right decision, do go see places and enjoy that process and, see as many as you need to see, but the grass is not greener on the other side. Another thing that I want to focus on with the buyers is, yes, values are dropping, but sellers are not actually just going to give the properties away just because you feel like it's worth a lot less than what they've listed it at. They have bottom lines as well. And many of the times, still we're seeing this today, if that seller does not get that bottom line, they will end up taking it off the market and putting it up for rent. We are seeing lots of cancellations for listings, and not all of them are coming back on the market. A good number of them are coming back on the market as rentals. Now, a big portion of these sellers, they bought their homes like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. So they have a lot of equity in there, and maybe they're not in a corner and have to sell. And even the sellers that are in a corner and have to sell, they also have a bottom line. Because let's say if they bought it a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, if they don't sell it at a certain dollar value, then they will have to end up owing the bank money. And they don't want to do that. So they will hold out as long as they can to make sure that, they are covered once they sell the home. Now, does it mean that they're going to get what they're asking? Not always. But if it's priced right, the seller will get what they're asking. So another thing for buyers is that, yes, it's a buyer's market, and yes, you could take your time, but good listings are selling. So if you find the one that you actually like, don't wait, make the move on it, because things are selling across the board. And I do mean across the board. Even condos are selling when they get to the right price, or if it's offering something that, is not very cookie cutter, something that's very special, something that has a specific selling feature that not other units have, especially in condos. If it's the cookie cutter 1 or 2 bedrooms that you see over and over and over and over again, those ones are sitting, but something special on the market at the right price, it's selling in a heartbeat. So make moves on the ones you actually like, because if it's not you, somebody else will actually come and pick it up. Now, I just want to pause there for a second. Are you wondering if I'm telling you that, the market is not bad, things are selling? I kind of am. I have been in this industry for a very long time. And in my humble and honest opinion, this is a very healthy market almost that we're approaching. Yes, the listings are piling on and things are taking a little bit longer to sell, but you don't want the opposite of this. That's what got us in this situation in the first place. So let the market correct itself. Things are selling, prices are coming down, but there are buyers out there. There is no shortage of buyers out there. And when they find the right property that they like, they hop on it. So you should be doing the same thing. When you find what you like, hop on it. This is a very healthy market for buyers and overall as well. So even to some realtors that may say, the market is not so great, the market is not so great, I'm going to have to disagree. We want this kind of market. We have to work harder in this market. It's not easy money anymore, and you really have to put your effort into your business as a realtor. So I'm not here saying that don't try to get good deals in the market. There are plenty of good deals to be had in the market, but you really have to know, even in today's market, what your budget gets you. If you're trying to buy something with a budget that allows for a townhouse, you're probably not going to get a detached home. You could try lowballing all day long. And even in today's market, a lot of sellers, they will refuse to even cooperate with offers if they are too low. Now, for those sellers, they might come back to reality a little later on once it's been listed for a little while and say, okay, now I've dropped the price. Do you want to come back and offer what you had offered before? And many times the buyer will not, because they may have bought something else, or they just got a bad taste left in their mouth and they don't want to work with that seller anymore. So basically, to summarize, for buyers, take your time, but shoot your shot when you see something, and try not to go and overshoot how many listings you want to go see, because you will see listings forever and ever and ever. They are not stopping coming on the market. So you have to stop yourself at some point and say, I think I've seen enough and it's time for me to offer. Now, this market is not for everybody. So if you're a first-time investor and you're looking for something to invest into, maybe GTA is not your best place, because the cap rates, they are not good in the city of Toronto or Mississauga or even Brampton. But it can be if you have a hefty down payment. And not a lot of first-time buyers or investors have 25 or 30% down. You do have to do it with minimum 20% down if you are an investor, but not everybody even has that. So, make the decision. If you feel it's right for you, then hop in. Now, after you buy, prices will probably continue to come down, and you might, on paper, start losing money right away. It is a long-term game now, and that's how it used to be, and that's what a healthy market is. You should not have 20% gains overnight. So the best advice I can give a buyer is that have a long-term mindset. You have to think long-term. If you're holding for 5 or 7 years and you're an end user and it's for you and your family, in my humble opinion, I don't think you can go wrong, because even if the prices continue to go down for another year or 2 years, eventually things will start to recover and come back up. So you can't be so short-sighted. You have to have a long-term mindset. Now, for sellers, if you are trying to sell, there's not much I gotta say other than know your price, because the market is really gonna dictate what your home is worth. And if you're stuck in 2021 or 22 prices, it's just not gonna happen. So whoever you choose to help you sell your house, they should be able to prove to you on paper with numbers and stats what these properties are actually worth today. And if you are not aligned with them, then you will have a very difficult time selling your property. And I must say, if you are not preparing your house for sale, which means deep cleaning, painting if you have to, staging, gardening, the list can go on, you will be left in the dust, because freehold homes are selling quite easily at the right price and the best of the bunch. So if you're not sticking out of the crowd, you're just gonna be sitting there for quite some time. Price adjust, price adjust, price adjust, and hopefully you get some offer where you can be somewhat satisfied with it. But if you're still trying to test the market, then this is not the market to be testing in. You need to be fully aware of what your property is worth. You need to be ahead of the game in terms of presenting your home for sale, and you will be successful. Things are selling. And we saw this last month with the spike in number of transactions. Now, this was mostly in the freehold sector, but even in condos, they are selling as well once they hit the right price point. So where do I feel this market is headed, and where do I feel the market is right now? I think it's a healthy market. I think for buyers, you have a lot of opportunity to get a good deal. For upsizers, if you're in a freehold or if you're in a townhouse or a smaller semi and you want something larger, I think you have a great opportunity to do that right now, because prices are lower. They're going to be lower of what you're buying, but it's an easier time comparatively to where we used to be selling your existing home in order to upgrade. It's going to be a very smooth and comfortable transition. So at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with this market right now. Let the prices come down a little bit. It's okay. It had to be corrected anyways. I know there might be some people that completely disagree with me, and I'm okay with that. I got to give you what I feel is best, and I got to give you my opinion sometimes. So I think it's a healthy market. I don't think things are going to recover in terms of prices anytime soon. But if these number of transactions continue to go up, then eventually you will start to see the price appreciation, because more and more people are entering the market. That being said, I don't think the prices are going to come up anytime soon. I think it'll take a lot of months and maybe a year or two for enough transactions to really start impacting the price. And that's simply because a lot of sellers are still at their wits' end. A lot of homeowners are still at their wits' end. They have yet to list the property when they probably should have listed it 3 months ago, 4 months ago, because they just couldn't afford it anymore. So we still have a boatload of listings, I think, that are going to come onto the market, both for condos and for freehold homes. And once that runs out, once the inventory runs out, which I don't think is anytime soon, then we might actually see prices to go up. So this is just my opinion. I hope it helps. If you have any questions about what I've said, or if you want to disagree with anything that I've said, then just drop a comment below. And again, my goal with this channel is just to make the buying and selling process simple. I have been helping buyers and sellers like yourself for more than 20 years. So if you have any questions, just drop a comment below or reach out to me directly at 647-208-9724.